the Education Labour Relations Council is set to release a report on sexual abuse in South African schools. The country has seen a rise in these incidents, the latest being at St. Bernard High School in Bloemfontein. Learners have accused several teachers of sexual harassment, including inappropriate messaging and explicit images. Former pupils have echoed similar experiences. The Free State Education Department says disciplinary action has been taken against some teachers, with one dismissed last month. Allegations have also surfaced against a former facilitator who was employed by an NPO working with the department. He's accused of sending inappropriate messages and nude photos to a former pupil at the school. The Education Department's spokesperson, Howard Ndaba, hopefully will join us for this discussion. But let's bring in Bernice Loxton. She's with the Education Labour Relations Council. Bernice, thanks for your time this morning. What an incredibly worrying story. But I think it's important for us to point out that this incident at St. Bernard High School in Bloemfontein is by no means the first of its kind.
Good morning to you, Michelle, and to the viewers. You are correct. This is but one of many cases that are referred to the ELRC, and it seems to be escalating. As for the 23-24 financial year, we received 82 cases, sexual misconduct cases, and for 24-25 that ended 31st of March 2025, we received 114 cases. So there is a clear escalation in these cases.
According to a News 24 article on the St. Bernard story, the high school in Bloemfontein, some previous pupils who also came forward in the wake of these allegations said that they were afraid to speak out because they thought that they might be accused of perhaps flirting with teachers. I mean, this is just unacceptable behavior, isn't it, Bernice? Are we doing enough in terms of not only disciplinary action, but getting rid of these teachers from our schools?
No, that is, it's correct, as you stated. It is quite appalling behavior from teachers, and it is said that children do not feel comfortable to come forward to report these cases. I believe that everyone that is involved, from community members to us as stakeholders that are involved in processing these cases, we have a responsibility and a big role to ensure that whatever measures are put in place, like in the case of the ELRC finalizing these cases and where an award has been issued, each stakeholder has the responsibility to ensure that the outcome of these awards are enforced stringently. So the Provincial Department of Education, for instance, they have to ensure that these teachers are blocked on PERSAL. SACE has to play its role to ensure that the teachers struck off the roll. And these teachers have to be vetted against the Child Protection Register as well as the National Register for Sex Offenders to ensure that there is no re-entry into the system and that we have a foolproof system at the end of the day where we protect our children.
So I know your organization will be releasing that report into sexual harassment claims at schools at the end of this month, and we look forward to seeing some of the findings there. Let's bring in the Education Department in the Free State. Its spokesperson, Howard Ndaba, joins us as well. Howard, how do you propose we move forward on a story like this involving learners being sexually harassed, being sent nude photographs from people who are meant to be their mentors? Howard Ndaba, it's Michelle Craig. Can you hear me? You're live on Newzroom Afrika.
Yes, ma'am.
I
can hear you loud.
Okay, great.
I can hear you loud and clear. I'm not sure whether you can hear me.
I can hear you. Can you answer the question about what your response is as the Education Department to this latest report of sexual harassment at St. Bernard's High School?
Well, firstly, as you will know, that we have condemned this sordid incident that has happened in that school. So much so that one of the teachers who has been involved in this incident has already been dismissed on the 14th of August. And the two teachers which are still which have been implicated, the investigation is at a very advanced stage. Is at a process where we have to give it to the head of department to make a determination. Once you have done that, the matter will be referred to arbitration.
So how do you propose, as the Education Department, Howard, that we bring something like this out in the open? Just as an example, most schools will have a zero tolerance approach to bullying, right? You'll go to a school, you'll see various posters are up talking about various steps that pupils can take if they are being bullied at school. Should we not take the same kind of open cards approach when it comes to sexual harassment from teachers? Put placards up around the school, have open conversation with pupils to say, if there is any member of staff, and do it in full view of staff, if there's any member of staff that is interacting with a child in an inappropriate manner that makes you feel uncomfortable, come straight to the principal's office.
This is exactly what we are doing, ma'am. We are doing everything in our power, not only to deal with issues of sexual harassment, but any form of violence in our schools, any form of criminality in our school. Even in these schools, it's unfortunate that these learners have not reported this incident for whatever reason to the principal, to the district, and even to the department. But once, as you can see, with their teacher, which has been dismissed, that matter was reported, and we acted. And what we are also doing as a department is to conduct workshops to all the teachers, especially those teachers who are coming for the first time in the system, about these issues that are related to sexual harassment. We are running campaigns in all the districts dealing with issues of bullying, sexual harassment, and other form of things that are unbecoming in our school. So we're doing exactly that. But what we need to do is to really work together with all the stakeholders, with the teachers. Remember, in the high schools, we have RCL. These learners could have reported this thing to their colleagues in the RCL, or we also have in our schools what we call SBT, school support-based team, where learners are welcome to report this case. We also have school safeties. We also have school management team. So we're doing everything in our power as a department, as a school, to stem and root out any form of sexual harassment, any form of violence in our school. But
Well,
we cannot.
Howard,
But we cannot do it alone. We need the parents to support us. We need the learners to support us. We need the community members, because it's, at some point, this really is a reflection of what is happening in our communities.
yeah, the steps that that are being taken, Howard, are clearly not working. I mean, just given the one example of St. Bernard's High School. Bernice, I want to bring you back into the conversation, because surely we cannot put the burden on the pupils experiencing the harassment to say, I don't know why these students didn't come forward.
That is correct, Michelle. As the representative from the department mentioned, there are campaigns. The ELRC is also having ongoing campaigns, but as you stated, it clearly is not enough, and it has to be an ongoing endeavor so that children feel comfortable to report these cases. The Department of Education has initiated a joint campaign, which we also think will go a long way in curbing this escalation in sexual misconduct cases that's in our schools. So it has to be an ongoing endeavor so that community members and children feel comfortable reporting these cases. And one thing that I believe will play a very big role in ensuring that we move in the right direction of cleaning up the system and rooting out these perpetrators is once the National Register for Sex Offenders becomes public, where there will be a shift in power because parents will be able to check against this register that teachers are not appointed, that are listed on the register, and it will also bring in greater accountability on the side of the department and schools as well to ensure that they do not employ these people. We know that the register was supposed to be made public in February this year, but because of legislative restrictions, that has not happened yet, and there's no specific date, but this will be something that will greatly assist us in addressing this pandemic.
Well, we hope that we can also look forward to that report on sexual abuse in South African schools by your organization, Bernice. She's the spokesperson for the Education Labour Relations Council. Also on the line to us is the spokesperson for the Education Department in the Free State.